One of the first things I learned as an attorney, especially as a trial attorney, was this concept which was completely foreign to me until I got this distinction, was the whole idea of the non-answer answer. So if you're in a trial case and you ask somebody a question, how do you know if it's an answer or non-answer? So it's very important to understand when you listen, ask a question, are they answering the question or are they not? So one of the techniques that I use is if somebody asks me a question that I don't feel comfortable answering, I will say, "Wow, that's an interesting question." I said, "How did you come up with that question?" Now, what I've done is answered their question with another question, and then you go right to them. So then you're saying, wow, they'll answer your question and they'll say, well, like this, blah, 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 blah. So this is why you did it and this is what it is. Yes, so that we, that's a very interesting process. I've just learned something. So when you get into this world, so you start going on and on and on about that person and be interested in that person and what they're doing and what they're thinking. And eventually they're going to not even realize it, that you're not answering the question. Now, that's just the easy way to do it. Another way we would do it is I would have a client and I'd have my client be interviewed by the press and they say, you know, I really want to answer this question, but my lawyer, Marshall Thurber, will not let me answer it. And so I can't, not that I don't want to, because I really do want to answer it, but I can't. That's another way to answer it. And so if you go on and on and on like that, you're going to see that many times, you know, I'm not going to dignify that question with an answer. Well, that's a non-answer answer. So you're going to start to see that in many, many times what looks like an answer really is not an answer. It is off somewhere. It's not answering the question. So what you can do is you can say, why do you ask? And you start getting interested. The more you're interested in that person and the more they talk, the less likely they are going to realizing that you did not answer it. So I would have to tune myself that when I asked a question, did they answer? And if they didn't answer, I would keep struggling. I say, excuse me, I understand all of that, but this is the question. Would you read back the question, please? And they would, the court reporter would read it back, and I would stay focused until I got hopefully an answer. And so when you start to look at this from a space of thinking, the vast, I mean, many, many, many times people do not answer questions that are important. And we have many politicians who are expert at this, they will not answer. And because what, as long as they don't answer, you're going to make up your own answer, which is absolutely what you want them to do, is make up their own answer. By not answering, they can come up with an answer they like or they want. And it's just like when you do a full disclosure in a financial statement, they get to see everything. You're not hiding anything. If you hide something, then other people make up their own story. So it's best to be transparent in your communication, transparent in your financials, transparent in what you're doing. And if you do that, you don't get caught in this trap called a non-answer answer. And I know that as a lawyer, I got to the point where I was so trained to look for that I remember cross-examining a paper boy over, I think it was 43 cents, and I put him in tears. That's when I didn't even like me. I said, hey, man, I'm not going to do this anymore because the training is so rigorous to look at, you know, people not answering. And of course, if they're embarrassed, they don't answer, or if they don't have something to hide, they don't answer. So it's very important to see how effective it is to be awake to when people are really not answering your question. I learned from Bucky a long time ago that the bigger the picture, the more accurate your prediction. There's nothing in a caterpillar, if you just study a caterpillar, will ever tell you about scenario butterfly. So my entire life, I'm working as much as I can to be a comprehensivist. That is interested in everything, so I can make better choices, better decisions, and have a better perspective. What can I do for you?